Board Game Basics, episode number 27. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Robert.
Hosting for this episode is provided by Gameology, Australia's largest game warehouse. Each episode we'll try and talk about a board game and a card game. So this week we're talking about Rivals for Catan and... what was the other one?
The Test Match card game.
Test Match card game.
Which you got for Christmas.
Yep.
Which was good. So this week we're actually talking about two card games.
Haven't we talked about two board games though?
Other times, yes, we often do. And normally we'd be at cricket right now, but the temperature here today is 41 degrees, so it's cancelled. So we get to sit inside, no aircon on at the moment. And you've been feeling pretty tired because all week it's been hot, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's the end of summer. Mm-hmm. So what do you reckon? It's
autumn already.
I know, it's going to be starting to cool down before you know it.
Mm-hmm.
By next weekend, I think it's going to be cooling down, but then we'll still get some good hot weather.
Hopefully it's at 20 degrees.
20 degrees.
That'd be good.
We will have a couple of days of 20 degrees.
Yay. Instead of 40.
So I got to play Gloomhaven last night. I had to play the same scenario twice, which was our third time of playing it because we haven't been able to beat the thing. But we finally beat it, and one of the guys leveled up his character, or got a new character.
Who?
One of the guys in the group. So that was the Scoundrel got changed to...
Scoundrel?
I forget what he changed to now.
Now I gotta look at that character as well.
Yeah, I know. Well, we need to get ours out and get
playing. The
playing.
one that was changed was good.
Oh, and I put a photo up before on Twitter of the little miniature that Mum's painted.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I did all the undercoating and the base coating, and then Mum did the top coating and the layering.
Not of any of the ones that I'm doing, though.
Oh, yeah, why? What have you been doing?
I've been doing the Ticket to Ride miniatures.
Oh, yeah, so you've been painting your little trains on Ticket to Ride.
Yeah, I've almost finished all the windows on all of them.
On the black?
Yep.
So you just started by picking out the black trains?
Spares of them.
Yeah, yeah. And
I went from the spares, now I'm up to the normal ones.
are you going to paint the little lights on all of them as well?
Yeah.
The train headlights? Right, okay.
I'm just doing the windows first, then the next, then the next.
Are you going to do any of that today?
Probably.
Well, I think we're meant to go out later and play some games.
Alright.
Don't know if it'll be Terraforming Mars because they've got all the expansions for that. Oh, you want to play that, do you?
Mm-hmm.
You've all perked up. I thought you were going over there to want to play Minecraft.
No, Terraforming Mars.
Oh.
I haven't played that for a long time.
Okay. We'll see how you're feeling later in the day. Okay, so Rivals for Catan, the card game. Have you got any information there you would like to read from BGG for us?
Okay, so now we're going to talk about Rivals for Catan. So it's rated at 7.0. It's for 2 players, community 2, best 2.
It's only 2, isn't it?
Yeah. 45 to 120 minutes playing time. When we did it was like 5, wasn't it?
No, it was longer than 5.
It wasn't 45.
It doesn't feel like 45 minutes when you play.
It wasn't 120 though.
Nah, that's with all the expansions in there.
What?
Because we just play the basic cards. Because it's more fun. I'm not trying to attack you or anything like that. It's pretty civil, isn't it?
Mm.
So how do we go about explaining this? So
it's age 10 plus, community 10 plus. Weight is 2.32.
Right. If you have a look on the front book of the rules here, it's got a little bit of information. It says, the game you are holding in your hands is the completely revised new edition of the Catan card game. First published in Germany in 1996. So we got the 2011 one, I think.
No,
which they made some changes. 2010, was it? Okay.
Because this is 2010 on here.
So, when you're playing one of the theme games, you take a virtual tour through Catanian history. In the introductory game, you're the first Catanians, and you're in the early days of settlement of Catan. And then you move through the different eras, the era of gold, and the era of... oh dear, I have to remember that. I'll have a look at that in a minute.
Era of gold.
Turmoil, as there's lots of fighting where you're attacking each other a bit more.
We don't do that though.
No, because I don't think you're going to enjoy that one.
I had lots of axes in one of the games though.
Mum and I should do that one now. And the era of progress. They're the 3 that come in this. So, do you think if you've played Catan, which is, do we enjoy playing the normal Catan?
Talking about this makes me want to play Catan today.
Yeah, I know. Catan is fun.
Really fun.
But
there's just some of the expansions that I don't really like.
Oh yeah, which ones don't you like of Catan?
Because, you know how like the Knights one, I don't really like that one.
Yeah.
It's like...
Is that the Barbarians? Knights and Barbarians?
Knights and Barbarians.
Yeah.
Or Knights and something. I don't really like that one. Because you gotta like... have knights out to stop the barbarians from getting you.
You do, and then when they get you...
It's very annoying.
You don't really like games where you get attacked a lot, do you?
No, but that means they actually shut down your city or settlement.
Yeah, I know, and then...
you flip it over and you can't
Yeah,
get it
and
back.
that's jammed us up. So, anyway...
But how come
So we enjoy playing Catan,
but
right?
every time we played that expansion, I haven't gotten jammed up.
No. Yeah, I did one time and it killed my whole game. I couldn't get going. But anyway, we'll talk
How
about
do you get
that
them
some other
back
time.
again?
You got to rebuy it. And...
That's a bit annoying. May as well upgrade it.
So in Catan, the rivals for Catan, it's a 2-player game of the game. I think it would play better than Catan at 2 players by a mile. That's obviously why they've made this. And you can lay it out on your table. Now, it does take up quite a bit of space as you're... So you start with two settlements and a road. And then above and below the
one
settlements...
settlement and 2 roads.
Yeah, and above and below them, though, you put dice numbers. Yeah, your fields. And they give you a nice...
And also you put these ports and buildings and stuff.
No, so basically you start the game with 2 settlements, the road, and then 6 fields.
Oh, yeah.
So
1 to
every
6.
dice number
1
that
to
gets
6.
rolled, you get something.
But then when you're pulling them out of the stack,
it's a random.
It's totally random. Except when I got to...
No,
I
you got to
had
choose.
this card that let me choose which 2 I'd pull out when I build a settlement. So, I chose a brick and a wood one, and that won me the game getting those 2.
Yeah, I know. I don't have a good record
In one
with winning
go.
this
I
game
was on
either.
5 and then I got to like 10 or 7.
So, okay, you set up your field. You've got a field of wheat, brick, stone, wood. There's gold. That's something different. And sheep. Sheep. And then in the middle, so you're both set up on opposite sides of the table with that. Although your numbers are different. So I might have 2 on the wood, and you might have a dice of 3 on the wood.
Normally, because I had like a 2 on brick, and you had like a 2 on wood.
Yeah.
Or
and then, what else do you do? Then in the middle of the table that you can go and buy from, there's a road stack, a settlement stack, city stack, and the region stack, which gets done when you build your settlement.
It's actually better doing that, because it's actually random where you're going to get your settlement. And it's also going to mean that you could have, like, one player could have 10 roads and the other could have... Because you know how you get a certain amount of roads in the normal game?
Yep.
Like, for each player?
Yeah.
Like, this time...
Could go forever.
I could have all of my roads, and then I could have placed all the ones that you could have placed, which is good.
That's true. If you could, you'd have to be getting a lot of bricks for that, though.
You need 2 bricks and a wood for a road.
You do. So
it's pretty annoying.
So I guess, and the winner gets to, you get to 7, and you win. And to get to 7, it's the same as the game: 2 for a city, 1 for a settlement. Easy as that.
But this is actually smaller, but bigger in a way when you put it on the ground. Because you know how you said the roads and this stuff, but also it's smaller because you don't have all the weight, sheep, brick.
Cards.
Yeah, and
that's
stone
right.
cards laying around.
Yeah.
You just have them on your dice where it has the dice numbers. You have it on that, so you spin it around on there, and that's what. So however many you get from what's
that's
around
true. So each player's deck side of the field is 3 cards high. So you have a field, and then you have your road or settlements that keep extending a long ways in the middle. You keep building out long ways along that, and then you also then have underneath your fields. And in between your fields, because your fields have a gap in between each one. In between those, you get to play cards from your hand, which you draw cards from a draw stack, and they have all cool things like trade ships or strongmen or
They're technically development cards.
Yeah,
except better, because you can get, like, you may pull a random thing up, but you don't get the knights because there's no robber. I don't like the robber thing.
In the game.
It wouldn't be as fun if you had the robber in this. Because, like, they would just put it on one of your numbers and it would just about clog the other person up.
So,
stop them.
And then along the way you can build up your strength advantage or a trade advantage, and they get you a victory point instead of longest
I got
road
both of
and
them.
all that. Yeah, I know, like the other time, yeah. So that works out quite well. And on your turn, you roll 2 dice. 1 dice is the number. Both players get to take the resource on that number.
And the other one is either the question mark, the
It's a yellow dice.
asteroid, the can I see?
Yeah, there's an attack. One of them is an attack. One of them
trade, plentiful harvest, celebration, and the event card is the question mark.
And they all have different actions. One might be if you're the strongest player, if the extra cards you've bought and put on your field have the scales or that's for commerce, or the axes for strength, you get to take that advantage, which is take an extra resource.
With those dice things that I was rolling out, that's the event dice.
Yep.
And then there's the asteroid is actually an attack. First, any player who has more than 7 resources loses all his gold and wool supplies. Them players receive.
Yeah, it's not an asteroid though. It's a
looks like an asteroid.
brigand attack. Is it? Brigand attack, and that's like some people come in and attack you, so you're gonna lose. Yeah, it does look like an asteroid. I have to say you do. You're thinking of terraforming Mars there. Hold on, we shouldn't have talked about terraforming Mars.
No, but it looks like an asteroid on there.
And then one of the ones is a question mark, which is the event stack, and that event stack pulls out things like in the game, real game of Catan as well. Year of Plenty, like that's your development card. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like that.
But it also pulls out attacks that you have to play immediately and stuff.
On the event.
Yeah. Because I got that attack one once, but I couldn't attack you.
The event cards, yeah. Well, you have a travelling merchant, or you have trade ships and.
But they're attacks.
Feuds. Yeah, that was the one you had. So
yeah,
there you go.
I kept drawing them each time.
Now there's a load of cards in this game. Let's see, 180 cards. So they give you the basic set is 94 cards, and then you have the Era of Gold, which has 27. The Era of Turmoil, which has 28, and they get mixed in, and 31 for the Year of Progress. A couple of things. So it's not that dear, this game. I think it's only 30 or 40
But it's very
bucks,
good
maybe.
value for what it is.
Yeah, it's a good and easy game to
Catan's like
take.
50 or something.
So basically, you keep building out your city widthways across your table. You don't go any higher than 3. You just keep, and the cool part of this we didn't talk about is you get a resource. So on your they're the size of coasters, drink coasters. But if you've got a 1 on your wood and you get a wood, what do you do? You turn it.
You turn the card.
Yeah. But then when you get to 3,
you can't go any higher.
You can't go any higher,
which is annoying.
So you want to try and get your
that's
trade chips, or
that's one
so
of
you
the
can
bad
trade them
things
out.
About that's one of the bad things about this one that's good in Catan, because you can have unlimited unless there's a 7-year-old.
Yeah, and when the robber comes, so this is how
this one the asteroid-looking thing, whatever it was,
might take them.
Takes them.
But you can actually have a lot of resources as your city gets wide, and you might have like 3 settlements out. So you've got 2, 4, 6, 8.
I won the game on 3 settlements.
Fields. Yeah, but you might have 8 fields, and all of them can have resources.
Mm.
So imagine you can actually gather quite a lot.
If you got 12 fields, you would have just about probably 2 of each, which would be good.
Yeah, probably.
I think that would be great if you did, though.
So, anyway, we got this because we don't own Catan, and sometimes we want to play it, but I don't think Mika would want to play it, and if we're going to play it with you, we'll probably play it with our friends.
Mm.
So this way, either you and I can play, or Mum and I can play.
But I'd rather it's funner playing Catan with more people.
Yeah, I reckon too. But if it goes although we have played quite a lot of games of Catan at 6 players, it does take quite a long time. But you do get that extra shot.
But for me, it's
a special build. But
Yeah, but for me it's a bit...
Where 4-player Catan is
Yeah,
slow.
that's way better.
Yeah, it's quicker but in that sense, but you can't get your special build, so you've got to wait 1, 2, 3, 4 to come back to you before you can build. And
So
in
do
that
you need
time, you lose
5?
your resources.
Don't you need 5 people?
Yeah, I think
For
it was
special build?
5.
But if you have 4, that's the base game, and that's good, because then you've got more of a chance of getting a gooder settlement
Yeah.
for your place.
It starts getting expensive, though, to buy the Catan, and then the expansion 5 and 6, and then the pirates, and that's another...
I like the
and then
island. You
5
know
and
the
6.
island expansion?
Hmm.
I wonder if they have that.
I'm not sure.
Because that would be really fun to try.
So we got it for that reason, and we really enjoy it. I guess we should talk about what we think of it. I would probably give it a rating of somewhere around... I'd say 8 as a 2-player easy. You don't really even have to think. It takes 5 minutes to set up.
30 minutes to play, though.
30 minutes to play, 5 minutes to set up, though, because you've got to divide all the cards into their stacks. We laminated the base, because there's 2 little base ones that are red and blue. We laminated them.
We laminated all of them.
Because you're always turning them around on the table.
We laminated all of them except the
All of those
cards, the ones that you get in your hand and then place. We didn't laminate them.
Nah, because they won't get as much use, so that worked out
No,
well.
you don't spin them around, that's why.
Yeah. But the other ones...
all the other cards we needed to laminate because they get spun around.
Yeah, we haven't done them, though.
Stuff. Yeah, we have.
And, so I'd give it an 8. I think it's a good 2-player game for...
It's a very easy game to get out on the table, though.
Yeah, and what would you rate it?
Well, if you think about it...
That's what we're doing.
Yeah. If you think about how, what the difference is, the... whatever that was, is the 7.
Mm.
So, it's sort of better. It's, I reckon it's about a 9.
Mm.
Because, the differences between that and Catan and what makes it better and, because some of the things don't make it as good.
Yeah.
Don't make it better, could make it worse.
But because it gives you the option for 2 players...
Yeah, it's good.
And so we're talking as a 2-player game. And in a sense, it's completely separate games, but they're the same, aren't they?
Mm.
So, yeah. And what was your strategy to win?
I'm not telling you.
Oh. Well, we're going to tell everyone listening? Do I have to block my ears?
No. Because you can't win.
I kept buying these little cards to put in between, which was the trade ship, so that I could trade 2 for 1 and all that.
I did.
But
I got barely any of them, though.
Yeah, I know. And then you and Mum seem to keep just quickly build your city settlement. Boom, done. You've got your 7 points. So
city, settlement. And then I build the trade ships and the axes. That's what you need.
Oh, yeah, the battle thing, because then you start taking things off the other person.
No, if you get all that, you're actually...
You get the trade advantage or the...
No, you're there, because they give you +1 victory points each.
Oh, yeah, the extra one. Yeah, so you start with 2 victory points, and then if you can gather those 2 things, you're up to 4 victory points straight away.
But I got to 5 before I got to 3 before I got them.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is, in total, out of your 7 points...
Yeah, and then you only need 2.
You quickly get there.
And then you just build a city or something, and then you're done. That's what I did.
I know.
No, I built a road settlement, and I upgraded it.
Well, every time you do it a little bit different, though.
But that's probably the best I've probably done it.
Anything else we need to say then? I think we've pretty much covered it. All good?
Nothing else. All good. Okay, so now we're going to talk about Test Match.
The card game.
Test Match is... The card game is for 1, 2 or 4 players. I'm pretty sure you might be able to have more, but I don't know.
Well, we can't read
Ages
anything...
7+.
We can't read anything off of BGG because it's not on BGG.
Ages 7+. I would say we gotta just say something that how long it could take. It could take forever. You could take
half hour.
Longest you could probably go is if you're doing a test match. Probably about 5 days is the longest.
But we haven't really played it like that.
So you could go for 15 minutes.
Test match. So we talked about a few episodes back about test match, the board game,
Which is right next to me.
dexterity game. Now we're talking Test Match, the card game, which you got for Christmas.
Yep.
Which was quite cool because we were away.
Mm-hmm.
And this comes in a little card box, so like the little shuffle card boxes
Except
for...
they're probably a bit better.
But what's so cool about this box?
Has two things. So, can I hold the box? So there's like an area here that opens up. So there are two different parts where you
Lids.
can open it up.
Yeah,
so
two
like
different lids.
one there and one there.
So the lid's split in half, yep.
And then you put a divider in there. The umpire dice goes in the biggest one, and then the fielding dice go in the other one.
Yeah, so it splits up. So you take the cards out to play the
And there's a
game.
divider in there.
And then it also becomes a little dice box. So we'll get to that in a sec. So cricket is a game, as we know, batting, bowling. Two teams
Fielding
and fielding
and wicket.
and wicket keeping. And you can also play this game solo too, which
Yes,
is...
I've done that.
you do that a bit.
I haven't finished that game yet.
So the batting team and the bowling team get their 11 players, their little player cards. They give you abilities. You're either a good batter or a good bowler or a bit of both.
Well, you can't be a good bowler or a good batter.
You know, you're a good batter or a good bowler.
Well, with the batter thing, you either have a good thing or a bad thing that's added on, or neither.
Yeah, like a modifier.
Yeah, so if you've got the bad one, it might say like turn A 2 greens into 1 green and 1 red, or it might be turn 1 red and 1 green into 2 reds.
Right, but what does all that mean?
So 2 reds means you're out.
But what are
on
the reds
fielding
for?
cards.
So it's like if you're playing a game of cricket and you hit the ball to a fielder, and so the ball's rolling along the ground to the fielder.
No, it's in the air.
Or it's in the air. Okay, yeah, let's say it's in the air.
On the boundary?
Now it's in the air, and so then you go to your little dice box. You roll you roll the box around, and it says if the fielder caught the ball, or dropped the ball,
Or misfielded.
or misfielded.
Well, here's
And that
one.
happens with the dice.
Here's
So
an
you either get
example
2
of one of
greens,
the
2
cards.
greens. Or, yep.
So, it's big, like this is what the commentator says. It's big, it's high, it's like on the boundary.
Yep.
And there's a fielder on the boundary, and it's like,
Oh,
he
leaning
caught it,
back.
and it's like, did he step over? And if he rolled 2,
Oh, yeah.
I got 2 greens on that, and I'm like 6.
So,
And there are some of the cards that'll either say 4, 6, out, or out.
and that's really cool. So when we play it, we're normally like, oh, they've made a run. They're reaching for the crease. Are they going to get in for the run? And then we shake the dice and see what the umpire says, because the umpire
Yeah.
makes a decision. And then it's either out or
With the
not
PlayStation
out.
cricket, it was funny, like, a couple of times we had the umpires call,
Yeah.
and like it would show like a replay with a green dot and a red dot.
Oh, so
and
like
pretty much
this?
every time it was red.
Oh. With this, it gives you a good chance, and if you're a really good batter, you get to flip the red to a green on one dice.
Only if it's a red and a green.
Or if you're a really
red.
bad batter,
a red.
you flip a green to a red.
Or if there's a red and a red, one that's probably the worst is red and a red. No, 1 red and 1 green
Yeah, you got to flip
goes
it
to 2
out.
reds.
Because you're such a bad runner, you are not going to make
No,
it to the crease.
but if it's if you get 2 greens and your one says turn 2 greens into 1 green and 1 red,
Yep.
you do that. But then if it's 1 red and 1 green and your one says to turn 1 red and 1 green into 2 reds, that's how it
Yeah, there's a
works.
bit of
So,
modifying there. So basically the game is broken down into you bowl 6 balls. So I'm batting, you're bowling. I put out my 2 batters. This is who's batting. You then turn over. You get 6 cards in your hand that you draw from a bowling deck. You get to pick, and on those cards it either says,
A red and a pink bowl, thank you.
yep, like there's lots of different color codes of the things. One might be a wide. The cards can be used on the yellow side or the blue side depending on who's batting. So you flip the card upside down and it's the other color.
Alright.
Or they have 2 actions. In the sense like a Gloomhaven card where it's got 2 different actions and you got to pick.
pink or red out.
Yeah,
Bold.
and then it will be
And then
bold.
and then you play bold, and it's bold.
But the batter gets to use one of his cards to try and negate that.
But if it says batter must play bold or that card if held.
Yeah.
So you say you have a bold, then you have to play it, and you're out.
Yeah, that's right. So the batter has to have... What does the batter get? 6 cards as well.
Yeah.
And
no balls, both teams draw an extra card.
you need to speak in the mic closer.
I am.
And then that's how the game goes. You just hit. Oh, no, I'm out. And we set it at maybe 20 overs. They give you a little score pad.
No, we set it at 5 each.
Oh, 5 overs.
No, normally we do it until we're out. So if I get you all out, we'll play it until I get to that over.
And so in the box, it comes with 48 of the batting or the stroke cards, which are the different types of shots you can play. 30 bowling cards.
That's why your bowling deck always runs out before your batting deck.
Yeah, so you get 5 overs probably out of that, and then you reshuffle them.
But normally we normally end the game with only having to shuffle the batting deck halfway through the game.
Because we shorten the game to suit ourselves.
No, but we normally only have to shuffle the batting deck halfway through the game.
And what else is there? Oh, there's a fielding card, so when I've hit it to your fielder, you either catch it or you don't. And then there's the batter cards. 2 dice, which are really cool with those stickers. Did you have to put those stickers on there? Or were they already on there?
I had to put them on there.
Right, okay.
Like Treasure Mountain.
You like getting games when you get to do stuff, don't you?
Yeah.
To build it.
I
And
had
then
to do
there's
that with
also the
Treasure
umpire
Mountain.
dice as well, which has like...
I had to put the
picture of
stickers on
umpire.
Treasure Mountain.
Right. So, anyway, a fun game. I wonder if they have games like this for other sports, like baseball or whatever, because I'm sure you could redo
But
it.
cricket's probably a bit easier to do it for, though.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Because there's no bases and stuff.
Mm.
Dunno.
There's just creases in it. It's like roll of the dice.
Now this game was only made last year, or late last year, so I wonder if it's out in England or India, because India, the national sport of India is cricket, and it's huge over there, so
Yeah.
if they could market a game like this over there to some of the people that have money, a lot of people wouldn't have money to buy it, I suppose, but
That would get a lot of money.
yeah, because then if they can, India make more money in India from cricket than all the other countries.
Really?
Yeah, more than England, Australia, and that's not a country that has loads of wealth, but they're fanatical in the way some European countries are about their soccer. The Indians are like that with their
What sport
cricket.
are we?
Yeah, well, we have Aussie rules, so we have the football and cricket. They're our 2 main sports, but in India, it's huge. They come here to our city because one of our grounds is one that they all want to pay tribute to and go and visit, and because Sir
What's that
Donald
one?
Bradman played at this oval,
What's that one?
Adelaide Oval.
Oh yeah, that's our one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Actually, our one. So that they come from there to here to make it a pilgrimage to come to our oval. So anyway, that's cool. So how do we get onto that? Little history lesson by accident. Anyway, so the Test Match cricket game, I had never heard of it. I thought, actually, that's not too bad a game. You can play it on your own.
Yeah.
Because getting out that big dexterity game of Test Match is a lot of work, whereas this is just get out the cards. I feel like going and having a game right now.
The Test Match board game is actually 22 people. 2
Up
to 22.
Yeah. When do we ever play
Do you know
that?
why? 'Cause if you have 22 people at a party, 2 teams of 11, and then like people can play as the fielders, and then you have like 11 different batters and stuff.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's ever doing that.
But that would be so fun to do though.
But this one, they say you can have 4, so you just would split the, like, if you were playing 4-player, I guess.
Yeah.
One player would be one batter on this team, the
I
other
know.
batter, and when
you
you're
have
out,
2
you
innings
split.
of batting and 2 innings of bowling.
Yeah, you could
So
do
one
that.
person does 1 innings and the other person does the
Nah, I
other
think
innings.
you'd do a batter each. So you're playing together, run, and then you run.
But you can't.
Which is what you should have been doing right now, except it's too hot.
But we need 4 people to
Okay,
do that.
a rating. Fun little card game that we enjoy.
I'll probably be batting around now anyway.
I wonder if this becomes a popular one that we'll see in all the shops here over the next year
Probably.
or two, as a card game, rather than, and maybe families, instead of buying like the Connect 4 shuffle card game, they might buy this, because the
really
boys and
good.
girls might want to play that as a cricket game.
One.
So there we go. I'm gonna give it a 7 because it's fun.
But it'll
Easy
be
game.
awfully hard to make other like sports for this, because
You couldn't do it with footy or anything
you wouldn't be able to do it with footy, probably not even baseball and other
unless
things
you're
like
going
that.
to make that your mission.
No.
Invent a card game of AFL football. If you can
No.
do that, you'll be rich, because they would be able to
Yeah.
sell that, market it, and next thing you know, there's an AFL game out there.
Yeah.
That would
They
be
don't
worth
have
money.
any really though.
No, I know.
Like mainly all the games are in Monopoly.
Yeah, but it's all Monopoly. Like,
The
surely
only
people out
AFL
there want to see some better games than Monopoly themed in
The
their
only
sports.
AFL game is Monopoly. Like that's the only one that you can find AFL
know.
to do with.
And, I mean, really, there's a lot better games. You could invent a better game than that.
But like with Test Match, they could. I don't even know if they have a Monopoly for cricket, but they have a Test Match, a game for cricket
There
only.
has been one.
And then another game for cricket only. They probably have way more cricket games than AFL games.
Yeah. Don't know. So anyway, that's your mission. You should be doing that. You'll get rich.
Might take 2. I reckon
you don't
I'll
have to
rate
do it
this
this
at
year.
a
Oh yeah, what were you going to rate it?
probably a 9 or a 10.
Is that because you can play it on your own and it's cricket, which is the sport you love,
10.
which you've only got one actual day left of it, because today was going to be... The match is played over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
You bat and bowl
you
each
get 2
week.
innings.
Yeah, so
of
you get
each.
2 innings.
So it's a 40-40.
40 overs for each team. But this week, you would bowl 20 overs, and you would bat for 20 overs, and the next week, game continues, bat and bowl until everyone's out.
So it's longer than a T20.
So it's a long...
So if
Yeah.
you did it all in one day, it would be way long. It would be like as long as 2 T20s.
Yeah. But that's a whole weekend. So you're only going to get to have a quick, shortened game next weekend. And then that's the end of cricket season. And here in Australia, it would then move to football season.
I don't think
If
I'm
you're going
doing
to
that
play
this
football
year.
this year or not. Or you're go-karting.
Yeah. I'm
Anyway,
doing
so
okay.
we gave it a 7 and a 9. You
10.
sure with your 9?
7 and
No,
a
you're not
10.
going to give that a 10.
Mhm.
What? You love giving out high scores, don't you? One day I'm going to go back and write all these scores down, and then I'm going to make you rank them in order of what games you would like, and
No.
then that'll be harder.
No.
Because would you play this or the other test match?
Both.
But if you could only play one,
No, don't ask me that question.
one was getting chucked in the bin, which one would you keep?
I wouldn't let either be thrown in the bin.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Don't ask me
well
that
I think that's all we need to talk about that one, definitely.
Yep, you're really good.
Oh, now, I finally got to watch Ready Player One.
Did you already
game-
finish it?
Yeah, so I finished the book, and then the movie came from the library. It's a long movie. It goes over 2 hours.
You watched it.
Watched it one night, stayed up late. The book is way better. The movie gave me a headache because it was moving so fast. And I was like, oh, it's so well done. The graphics, you probably should be fine to watch it. There's not really anything bad in it. But the storyline moves so quick and you're trying to work out, oh, what's the same as the book and what's not. Because...
Well, you won't get a headache if you haven't read the book.
No, I know. So anyway, so the movie was good if you probably hadn't seen it, but I don't know if you'd follow it or not. Anyway, so you could watch that.
You
But
said that.
definitely I'd do the book Ready Player One first. Oh, we're going to be doing some Starfinder.
Tomorrow.
Yes. Yeah, tomorrow from when we're recording this. So
Tomorrow from recording.
is your character Grandpa going to be doing anything?
Mm.
What are you going to... You going to
Depends
pull
on
out your
what's
tool,
happening.
your Doshko and...
Depends
hit
on what's
someone?
happening.
Yeah, I know, that's true. And in one of these episodes, we need to talk about the game history of like another company because we haven't done it for ages, like Hasbro or...
Yeah, right. I just said Hasbro
And
earlier.
we should otherwise talk about D&D and how that came about, because actually I'm just reading a book now called Of Dice and Men or something, and
Dice
it's about
of Men.
the
Of Dice of
story
Men.
of how it came about.
Of Dice of Men.
I typed in D&D in the library search engine, and this was the only book that came up. So we'll see.
So they have game book then.
This is just a story book where they're talking about
Yeah.
giving
So
you
that's
the history.
really weird.
So otherwise we could have a quick chat about that when we do the D&D starter set sometime. Okay. We're going to go play a game or something?
Maybe.
Alright.
Or watch
Do you
car
want
racing.
to take us out the way you do with the emails?
The
and
8th is almost on, remember?
Yeah, I know. Car racing.
Yeah.
That's what we're talking
Hosting for this episode is provided by Gameology, Australia's largest gaming warehouse.
about. Yes, thank you, Gameology.
Thank you. So,
And our email?
at boardgamebasics@outlook.com,
Correct.
and our Twitter at capital B Board
Yep.
Game Basic 1.
That's it. So, I guess it's thanks for listening first.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening.
Did that again.
So that's bye from me.
And bye from me. So, there we go. This week's done. You're sounding very tired, I have to say. Not your normal chirpy self, eh? You're feeling pretty tired. The heat's got to you after the whole week, eh?
We're not allowed our air conditioner off on in here.
No, you can't have the aircon on in here when we're doing it.
What gets wetter the more it dries?
No idea.
A towel.
That's true. That's more
How
of
do
a...
you make a tissue dance? Put a little boogie in it.